You've probably seen posts on social media about how AI is going to grow your business for you. These creators say things like, just plug in this prompt and within seconds you'll have a 6-figure business. That is complete. So don't fall for it. AI is not going to do 100% of the work for you. It's not going to think for you, at least not entirely, because that is not what it's meant for. But what it can do, probably better than anything else, is accelerate your growth and free up your most valuable asset, your time. And that's where the real 6-figure opportunity lies for you as a driven solopreneur. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step the exact prompts that you can use to go from idea to income. And also the different prompts that I'm going to cover do relate to different stages of business. So whether you are in just the idea stage, you have no idea what your business is about, or you're up and running and you've come up to certain obstacles, there's going to be something for you. And at the very end, the last 2 prompts that I'm going to share with you, they're probably going to give you the biggest strategic breakthrough you've had yet, because they force you to think bigger and push your limits. Those 2 prompts are probably the ones that I use the most regularly today, so you definitely don't want to miss it. So make sure that you watch until the end. The first one is if you are literally wanting to start a business and don't even know what type yet. So naturally, the first step is to figure out what market to serve or what problem to solve. Now, the problem is that most solopreneurs just wing it, and then they often end up in a crowded and unprofitable space. So instead of guessing, this is how you can use AI properly to find a profitable niche to get into. Now, the way I'm going to do this video is that I'm going to show you the prompts that most people would generally use, and also go into a little bit about why they don't necessarily work so well, and then give you an optimized prompt that you can use, literally copy and paste it so that you can start using it to grow your business. So for this first one, finding your niche, most people would prompt ChatGPT with something like, can you ask me some questions so that I can find my business niche? That's literally the same as just saying, give me niche ideas. And so what's going to happen is you're going to get very generic results. Well, the prompt I'm about to show you is hyper optimized. So we're going to give AI a persona. In this example, it's going to be an expert business coach. And we're also going to give it specific instructions to ask you targeted questions so that you can really dig deep into your unique strengths and the market demand for a truly personalized niche opportunity. So the prompt that you should use is, act as an expert business coach specializing in business strategy and product development. Your goal is to help me identify a highly profitable and sustainable niche for my business. I'm a solopreneur in here you'll insert your age, years old, looking to grow my business using my unique skills. To achieve this, ask me a series of targeted, insightful questions that delve into my unique skills, passions, interests, problem-solving abilities, and any areas where I may naturally become a go-to person for others. Also include questions about market demand and potential profitability for digital products or services within those areas. Structure your questions to guide me towards identifying overlooked opportunities and areas where I can genuinely add unique value. You're also going to add a constraint in this prompt, and the constraint is, do not suggest niches directly yet. Focus purely on asking me probing questions. And when ChatGPT starts asking you these questions, you really want to dig deep. Think about the moments where someone would call you up and be like, hey, can you help me with this? Because that might just actually be your opportunity or your business to get into. In other words, your zone of genius. So now that you've got a couple of niche ideas, the next question is, which one of them is sustainable for the long term and which one has the opportunity or the potential to be highly profitable? Now, when asking this question, most people would ask something like, compare these 2 niches, fitness and photography. Which is better? And again, this generic prompt is going to get a very surface level answer. So the prompt I'm going to share with you and the one you should be using is going to turn ChatGPT into a top tier market research analyst. We're going to give it specific criteria like long-term scalability or beginner friendly execution for a business, things that make sense for a solopreneur who's just about starting out. Plus, having it ask you clarifying questions first really tailors the research so that you can get even more accurate outputs. You are a top tier market research analyst specializing in your industry that you've chosen, trends and business success. I need a comprehensive comparative analysis of 2 potential niches for my business, aiming for at least $100,000 annual revenue, primarily through your type of product or service, marketed online or offline. Niche 1, this is where you include your first niche idea. In this, I've got an example of videography. Niche 2, this is where you insert your second one. I've used family financial planning. For each niche, provide a detailed assessment focusing on long-term scalability, market growth projections, audience evergreen appeal, and potential for recurring revenue streams. 2, beginner-friendly execution for a solopreneur, so ease of product or service creation, technical barriers, and necessary expertise. 3 is digital product or service potential, types of potential profitable digital products or services, for example, courses, templates, memberships, consulting, done-for-you services, average price points, and examples of successful offers in this space. 4, online marketing viability, for example, social media, content marketing, ads, and these are content formats that perform well. Competitive analysis summary, identify 3 to 5 major competitors in each niche and briefly highlight their strengths and their potential weaknesses. Present your findings in a structured format, followed by a concise recommendation on which niche is more aligned with my stated goal and online marketing efforts. Before providing the full report, ask me any clarifying questions that will help you refine your research and ensure the most accurate comparison. Now, yes, I know this prompt is very lengthy and a lot longer than what you would normally give ChatGPT, but it's going to give you an insane amount of data on market growth, underserved niches, and product ideas. It's kind of like having a team of analysts, either for free or at a fraction of the cost if you're using the paid version of ChatGPT. And now that you're a lot clearer on your niche, it's time to figure out what to actually sell. And this can take a lot of time, but if you use AI or ChatGPT correctly, you could probably save 80% of that time that you would normally use figuring this out. Let's say, as an example for this, you're going to be creating a digital product. Now, what most people would say to ChatGPT is, write me an ebook idea for real estate. I'm not going to say it, but you can probably guess what type of response you're going to get from ChatGPT using a prompt like this. So let's get a lot more specific. The prompt that you want to use is, you are a digital product strategist and business architect. Your task is to generate a comprehensive business plan for a profitable digital ebook product within your chosen niche. The ebook's core focus will be to insert the specific problem that it solves over here. Your output should include the ebook content outline, which is a detailed chapter by chapter outline, including key topics, subsections, and actionable takeaways. I just want to remind you that the ebook is just as an example for this video. You can really go, if it's a digital product, you have your courses, your workshops, masterminds. You don't have to go for an ebook, but let's keep going. 2 is lead magnet strategy. So 2 to 3 specific ideas for free downloadable lead magnets, example checklists or mini guides that entice the target audience and directly relate to the book. Recommended pricing range for the ebook, justified with a competitor analysis if it is available from previous research, and perceived value. Then you're also going to have the AI include marketing angles and core messaging, which are 3 to 5 compelling marketing angles and core messages that highlight the unique benefits and transformational results of the book. Because when you're selling any product or service, you're not necessarily selling that product or service, you are selling a specific transformation. That's why that word is so key in this prompt. Content promotion ideas, which are specific content ideas for various online platforms. For example, YouTube topics, Instagram Reels, blog post ideas, email sequences that directly promote the ebook and address common audience pain points. Utilize deep research capabilities if it's available on your AI model to ensure the content is highly unique, addresses unmet needs, and provides maximum value to the target audience. Ask me clarifying questions as needed to refine this plan. Now, using this prompt, you're going to get a lot of information and a lot more specific steps that you need to take to launch your product and start selling it. And when you start creating your YouTube videos, this is where you can start using Taja's AI to save even more time with your actual content creation, because one of the major features of it is that it'll take your longer YouTube video and break it up into shorter videos that you can use on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels. So instead of having to spend hours or pay someone to manually edit these short form videos for you, you can just do it at the click of a button, and it literally just takes a few minutes. If you want a free trial for Taja, I will link it down in the description so you can go ahead and give it a try for 7 days. But next up, we are going to do some stress testing on your business idea. So at this point, everything feels amazing. You're probably feeling a little too good about your business. And we're going to start toning that down just a little bit, because a lot of new entrepreneurs and new solopreneurs get overhyped by all the excitement that they forget to look at the things that could potentially go wrong and could cause their business to fail. You need to know what's really going on. And this next prompt forces you to confront potential failures head on. So what most people would prompt with this is, why might my business idea fail? This kind of prompt is clearly missing so much, but I think at this point you're kind of getting the idea of why you don't want to use vague prompts and why you want to become ultra or hyper specific in your prompt so that you can get the best possible responses for ChatGPT. So moving forward, just to save you some time, I'll just get into the prompts that people would generally use and then the correct or optimized prompt. Or actually, scratch that. I'll just get into the optimized prompt and what part of your business it's going to help you with. So the prompt that you're going to use to stress test your business idea is act as a highly critical and experienced risk assessment consultant specializing in online businesses. Your objective is to thoroughly analyze your niche or product idea and identify every potential reason why it might fail or face significant challenges. Consider areas such as market saturation or lack of differentiation, audience skepticism or objections. For example, does this really work for my unique business? Technical hurdles or implementation difficulties for the customer, regulatory issues or misleading claims, if that is applicable to your business, pricing issues and marketing blind spots. Be brutally honest and specific. Your output should be a detailed list of potential failure points framed as direct challenges that I need to address. I want to give you a heads up about this prompt. It is a real wake-up call, but it is also extremely necessary for your journey on starting your business. So after using that last prompt, it may feel a little bit like the AI has worn you down quite a bit, but if you can do that, then it also has the potential to rebuild everything, right? So that's what we're going to do with this next prompt. You're going to use ChatGPT to solve those problems. So your prompt for this should look something like, you are a strategic problem solver and marketing expert. Based on the potential failure points and audience objections identified previously for your product or service, develop a clear, actionable plan to address and mitigate each one. For each identified risk or objection, provide a mitigation strategy, so specific steps or changes I can implement to reduce or eliminate the risk, and proactive content ideas. So for each objection, generate 2 to 3 specific content ideas that directly address and overcome that objection before a potential customer even raises it. Focus on building trust, demonstrating value, and providing proof. Ensure that the content ideas are tailored for a solopreneur's online marketing efforts, focusing on engaging and persuasive messaging. For this one, you're also going to add a constraint, and the constraint is do not simply restate the problem, provide concrete solutions and actionable content concepts. Then if you want to get that edge over your competitors, this is where you can start really digging into and understanding all of their flaws. You're a dedicated market intelligence agent specializing in competitive analysis for digital or brick and mortar businesses, depending on your business. I need you to perform a thorough audit and reverse engineer the online presence of the following competitors in my niche. Competitor websites to analyze. You can include 3 or as many as you like. For each competitor, provide a detailed breakdown including their strengths, weaknesses, unique selling propositions or USPs, their content strategy, and their product offering analysis. Finally, based on this analysis, provide 3 to 5 actionable recommendations on how my business can model their success, fill their identified gaps, and ultimately differentiate and outperform them in your niche market. Focusing on a solopreneur's capabilities. You want to keep reminding it that you're a solopreneur. You don't have a massive team behind you that is able to get certain things done. And because with this prompt, you're essentially asking for a thorough audit across multiple different sections of a business, you're going to get a lot deeper insights into how you can strategically differentiate yourselves from your competitors, and not only do that, also outperform them. Right, so at this point, you've got your product and you've got your business model, but you need to sell it. And marketing is going to make all the difference. It means the difference between $0 earned versus $100,000 earned per year. And this prompt helps you figure out a content strategy that is specific to your audience. You're an agile content production manager and online engagement specialist. Based on my chosen primary marketing platform and my niche, generate a highly actionable 30-day content calendar. The goal is to attract my ideal audience, drive engagement, and funnel traffic to my digital products or services. The instructions for the plan is the frequency, the content series, and the format. The constraint for this prompt is ensure that content ideas are genuinely valuable, shareable, and designed to generate curiosity about my products or services without being overly salesy in every post. And this is going to get you a done-for-you content plan all packaged up and good to go without you having to spend hours and hours and hours planning what content you're going to put out. And so using that series of prompts, you've pretty much went from just the idea of a business to knowing exactly what you're going to sell, who you're going to sell it to, where you're going to sell it, and how you're going to sell it. And all of them so far have been really tactical, but these next 2 prompts, the final 2, are focused more on the strategy side of things. The first one is like having a full-time strategist on your payroll for when you hit a wall or come up to an obstacle that you just don't know how you can get over. Sometimes the biggest hurdle is lacking the right perspective or even breaking your own opinion bias. And the responses that you're going to get from this prompt are completely raw. Sometimes it even feels like a bit of tough love, but I can promise you if you use it, you're going to have a direct path forward. You'll know exactly which direction to go into. Act as my personal strategic advisor with the following context. You have an IQ of 180, you're brutally honest and direct, you've built multiple billion-dollar companies, you have deep expertise in psychology, strategy, and execution, you care about my success but won't tolerate excuses, you focus on leverage points that create maximum impact, you think in systems and root causes, not surface-level fixes, your mission is to identify the critical gaps holding me back, design specific actionable plans to close those gaps, push me beyond my comfort zone, call out my blind spots and rationalizations used, force me to think bigger and bolder, hold me accountable to high standards, provide specific frameworks and mental models. For each response, start with a hard truth that I need to hear. Follow with specific actionable steps, end with a direct challenge or assignment. When you use this prompt, really don't hold back. Tell it your biggest fears, your biggest struggles, the biggest things that are holding you back as a solopreneur running whatever business you're running. And then finally, with this last prompt, imagine if you could sit in a boardroom with giants of business, so people who are legends in marketing, sales, psychology, vision. What if you could tap into the collective genius of people like Steve Jobs, Alex Hormozi, Simon Sinek, all at once? This is without a doubt my favorite prompt on this entire list. It's perfect for making big decisions, having world-class perspective when you have different obstacles or challenges. I promise you, use this prompt and you're going to be blown away at the results that you get from it. Act as a 6-person expert panel to guide me through launching, growing, and scaling my or your business. The panel consists of the examples that I used are Steve Jobs for innovation and product vision, Alex Hormozi for monetization and media scaling, Seth Godin for audience building, Simon Sinek for mission purpose, long-term vision, and Dan Kennedy for marketing and branding. Now with this prompt, these people, you can obviously replace them and specify the roles that they're going to have within this roundtable discussion. The individuals that make up this panel are allowed to ask questions for further context. So when you enter this prompt and you receive a response that the AI understands its job, you want to give it specific details on the scenario or the problem or the challenges that you're facing. And then also expect the AI to ask you more questions. That's a good thing because it means it's really diving deep into figuring out or solving the problems that you're having, because that is what real experts would actually do. And because this prompt structures everything like a roundtable discussion, you can call out specific people based on their expertise to answer any questions on particular parts of your business that you're facing challenges with. And because you stuck around until the very end, I've linked a document with all of the prompts that I've mentioned in this video down in the description so that you can literally download it, copy and paste them, start using it, modifying it for your business, and really start making a difference in how you use ChatGPT. No email needed, just go ahead and grab them. Keep creating, keep growing, and I'll catch you in the next video.